Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Game 3 between Dignitas and Millenium in the Team Arena Challenge, lower bracket. And we've got Bischu, Yellow Protoss at the top left of Antigua. And over just to the right-hand side, Millenium.Stephano. Now, it looks like close spawn is basically enabled. And that means that they are going to have a little bit of positional imbalances here. We're looking to fix that for our upcoming tournaments, but for now, it looks like Stephano is going to have a little bit of a harder time getting that third.
Yeah, it comes to a situation where Bischu has an opportunity with, especially with like Blink Stalkers or something like that.
Put a pylon right there,
exactly.
And warp right into the
warp
third.
right here, and then you're blinking and attacking your opponent.
Yeah.
So we'll see how Stephano is going to deal with that in a bit. Looks like Bischu actually going to open up with pylon inside of his main. Seen a lot of players, of course, just straight up walling off this area, which is about as wide as the natural to the opening in Taldrum Altar. So good luck, have fun, kid. I love it. Stephano is just
I don't know if that's meant to be
amazing.
a little bit demeaning, or if it's just like, oh yeah, I'm joking around.
Oh, Stephano is 18. Does that make you cry inside a little bit?
No, not at all.
He won $75,000 in StarCraft at the last month and a half.
The best players are the youngest players. They start early, they start fresh. A shining example of that is, I forgot his name in Korean, but it's Flash. I forgot his Flash's Korean name. Not Pak Sam-jun, that's Jelizerd. I'm so bad with these names.
No, Flash, 19.
Yeah, Flash. No, he started when he was 14.
He won OSL at 15, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
And he started his programming career at 14 years old. That's insane.
That's actually ridiculous. I shudder to think of when he switches over. So
I think it'll be coming soon.
As soon as the money's there, because right now they're still signing $250,000 contracts to play for Brood War teams.
That's true. That's true.
All right. So looks like Bischu could just be opening up with some sort of a Sentry expand, which is, there's been a little bit of a shift in the past couple of weeks. I've seen players that have been going for, that have been actually going for Sentry expands and Gateway expands and things like that, mixing it up with the Forge Fast expands.
I think a lot of that has to come from the fact that Leenock has been showing that you can really be aggressive against Forge Fast expands and punish it in many ways.
And we'd like to address something that was actually brought up on forums recently, is people were saying, oh no, these games were played so long ago. This actually really wasn't. As you guys know, the months of October and November were the months of esports. We had IPL 3, 2 MLGs, DreamHack, and IEM, and GSL was thrown in there as well, and BlizzCon. And when you're trying to schedule 8 international teams to play a tournament of this size and this caliber, it's very difficult to get them all in the same place at once. So yes, the first round of games was played anywhere from about 4 weeks ago to 3 weeks ago, depending on which teams were playing. However, for example, we have games going this week. Like, for example, we have Winners Round 2 between Mouse and Slayers. Yeah, those haven't been played yet. Those are going to play like an hour and a half before they go live. So just so you guys know, there were some early games played in the first round, but that's not the case from here on out.
And just so you guys know, eventually we do want to switch into a live format as well online, where, theoretically the best kind of venue we want is where players play live and we cast it live here in the studio.
But basically, please be aware that we are listening to your concerns, and we share many of the same ones with you as well. So, all right, well, let's get back into the game here. Stephano did get a nice early Zergling speed, and starting his creep spread down to his natural. That's so well timed out with this first creep tumor, and then using it to allow the queen to start walking down. Then the queen's going to have 25 energy just as this hatchery pops up. And it looks like this is going to be an expand of the 3-gate variety for Bischu.
I'm not surprised there. Could have been 1-gate expand, or it could have been a 3-gate expand. This is kind of taking me back to the older days.
Oh, hello, early Roach Warren out of Stephano.
Yeah, this Roach Warren coming out of Stephano, it looks like he wants to either get the Roach Warren just to have roaches for defensive purposes, or to make some kind of a push happen. We'll have to wait and see. But, with Bischu going with the 3-gate expand, he's going to be pretty well protected, I think, at the front door. Going to have a lot of units out there.
All right, and we do actually have a Nexus in the top left-hand corner now for Bischu, as he is opening up with that expand. Multiple sentries on the field, even a Stalker in there as well.
He's going to want to throw some buildings up at the front, though.
Oh, yes. This Stephano is starting to hit with a bunch of roaches. The first few have popped out, and a Spore
very conservatively.
Going on.
I honestly feel like these roaches are just going to be here for defensive purposes, and he's getting the Spore because he thinks maybe a DT opening is coming. After all, he did scout a one-base play, not a quick forge fast expansion.
Yeah, he scouted double gas, and he scouted... Oh, he does know the timing on the Nexus now. But, of course, that...
Could have still been a DT expand, though.
Definitely. And that 3-gate's going to hit with quite a few units, and he will be plenty prepared for it. And as we see, he's producing drones behind this as well, so it's not like he's moving 100% all in, but... He does have quite a few units out there and did sacrifice some economy to get them there.
Yeah, I think he's just going to push out a little bit with the originally defensive units and try to hit the front door just a bit.
Whoa. +1 missile attacks coming up now as well, putting a lot of his available resources into that, and then droning up afterwards. There we go. So I didn't know if he was planning to produce some more roaches after that, and then move into some sort of timing with that upgrade, but here we go, man.
Yeah, I think for now he's going to drone up and then get the units out to time with +1 weapons just before +1 finishes. But Stephano is one of those players that really loves him some upgrades. He will get those upgrades very, very quickly. And it's not a surprise to me that he got those +1 weapons. Now, can he do any damage with these roaches and zerglings? The one fault of going for 3-gate expand is you don't have any buildings at your front of your natural. It's pretty exposed. So it's going to have to come down to Bischu's units, which he will have a lot of. Can he hold on? It looks like he will. Quite a bit of energy on those sentries too. And Stephano doesn't want to risk letting his roaches get locked in there.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to take his third behind this. But again, as we mentioned before, a very exposed third, as this pylon actually does have the ability to warp units down onto the low ground. And Blink Stalkers will be right at his front doorstep here in a bit. But Stephano's economy is starting to look good. He has Layer Tech coming up, a second Evo chamber, and more gas on the way. So he's playing a nice, safe game.
I'm very surprised that Stephano's grabbing the third right there. Shows to me that he just wants to go 3 base, try to end the game around less than 15 minutes. Doesn't want to go into an extended game, because the longer you go and you rely on your third so much as a Zerg, the more vulnerable it really becomes. It's just sitting right there, especially on this map. So Stephano looks like he doesn't want to play a super late game. He probably wants to end it before the 15-20 minute mark. I'm just really shocked that he didn't decide to expand down to the bottom right.
Right. And he is actually going to have to defend against Colossi here in a bit. His Robotics Bay is about to finish up, and these Zerglings did not stand a chance. They're all immediately vaporized. A few drones transferring over to the third now, and his economy is going to look quite good. 51 drones on 3 bases, 56 drones on 3 bases is pretty darn good saturation on all of them.
Not too shabby for the 10-minute mark, considering that Bischu opened up with 1 base.
And considering that he invested in so many roaches at the beginning of the game. I'm very impressed with Stephano's play to be able to overcome that, not early economic disadvantage, but investment into those roaches.
And the Observer is going to go down to the Spore Crawler.
A Spore Crawler inadvertently paying for itself.
Yeah, it just paid off for itself. So Bischu here's got a nice sizable army at the front door. He's warping in more warp gates to protect his front of his natural, but really right now he's just buying time to get his Colossus on the field. And I think once he gets 1, maybe even 2 Colossus, he might look to grab the 3rd expansion. In fact, he might just get it right now. And no, that's a Zergling. Okay, so he's going to wait, get some Colossus out, grab that expand. He's totally prepping up for a very long game here. And I think Stephano is prepping up for a big timing push.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's reinforcing with so many roaches right now. He really needs to hit before the Colossus numbers get too big. Otherwise, the number of roaches is going to be simply null and void. And let's take a look here. How many workers do you have? Up 63, gonna be 66 here, and so many critical upgrades just about to finish up.
You should probably cut drones at some point and just go into all attack units, because he's going to have all these upgrades coming. And like I said before, if he's going to grab that expansion, it shows to me that he wants to end the game before the 15-20 minute mark. Let's see if I'm right on this little hypothesis here. And if he does go for that timing push, it looks like he has cut off all drone production. He's producing only roaches now. You know what? He might end up waiting for 2-2. And whether or not that's going to be worth it or not, because there will be a second Colossus and range finished, remains to be seen.
No blink on the Stalkers, so engaging on creep with the speed is going to be pretty good for Stephano, but I think he realizes that he doesn't want to engage quite yet. But here we go. Here moves into that position we were talking about, where Bischu can reinforce into this attack so fast. Looks like Stephano's going to commit, but so many of those roaches are getting obliterated.
Really good force fields.
Yeah, they really were.
There. And the Immortal didn't even go down. That was what Stephano was trying to focus his forces on, and it didn't go down. That Immortal is going to be so crucial in that army, and it looks like Stephano might just get overrun here. He's going to have a very hard time defending this hatchery, and like I said before, this is why expanding here is so hard to hold off. It looks like he flanks and he gets 1 Colossus. That's going to be huge. Can he get the second one or not? It doesn't look like it, and that Protoss army is still looking very, very strong. The drones have evacuated, and Stephano has to lose his hatchery.
Yeah, you're definitely right. And Stephano is really, really far down at the moment. He's trying to reinforce as many workers as he can, but he's just getting them picked apart by Bischu's really, really good control and positioning. Bischu going to make his way over now and take out this spine crawler. And taking a look, there's really just not a lot that's being brought in for Stephano at the moment.
Yeah, this is a grim shot in the dark now for Stephano.
Yeah.
Yes, he has 2-2, or he's about to finish 2 armor. Yes, he might snipe that Colossus,
but
it matters not. That Protoss ball continues to get stronger and stronger and stronger, and it's advancing towards the natural.
Yeah, it really is. And it looks like Stephano just trying to pick off these key units as quick as he possibly can, but the Immortal has done so much damage. The Colossus racking up the kills as well, and a 40 supply advantage now for Bischu. There's the congrats! And Bischu is now 3-0 on Millennium.
What is happening to Stephano? He has not been performing in these team arena games.
He did well against Morrow in the set against Mouse. He did take 2 games for Millennium there. There are only 2 games, but as it sits,